When it was announced that James Franco would be playing infamous Cuban dictator Fidel Castro in an upcoming role, some people in Hollywood got extremely upset about this. Is it because of all of the allegations surrounding James Franco and maybe some people who may or may not have been underage at the time? No, they're completely fine with that. The problem that some people in Hollywood have is that apparently James Franco is not Latin enough to play Fidel Castro, and the person who was leading this charge was John Leguizamo. He ain't Latino. John Leguizamo rages over James Franco playing Fidel Castro, calls for a boycott. This is really one of the more laughable things that I've seen in the past little bit here in Hollywood, because here you have a guy in John Leguizamo who rages and rants and raves about representation and diversity and all that, and you know damn well if they had decided to, make George Washington black in an upcoming movie, he would probably have no problem with it. But because James Franco is playing Fidel Castro, he's freaking out. And really, I don't know why. You can see just from these pictures, James Franco does look a lot like Fidel Castro, and we're about to get into his origins and his heritage and all that, and it actually kind of makes sense that Franco is playing him. But Leguizamo, woke John Leguizamo, is furious about this. Actor John Leguizamo raged on Instagram in response to actor James Franco being cast to play Cuban communist dictator Fidel Castro in an upcoming film, Alina of Cuba. Leguizamo, who's been outspoken about Hispanic representation in Hollywood, says that while he has no problem with Franco personally, he ultimately believed that a Latino should play Castro. Franco is of Portuguese and Russian Jewish ancestry, so keep in mind Fidel Castro's heritage. Can we just go to this? Can we realize that Fidel Castro, his father, lived in Galicia? That's in northwest Spain. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not from the area. But northwest Spain. Where did James Franco, where's his heritage from? It's from Portugal. Northwest Spain, Portugal. These places are not that far removed, and in fact, they went out of their way to try to find someone from that had roots in that general area of the world to cast as Fidel Castro. But John Leguizamo freaks out about this. How is this still going on? How is Hollywood excluding us, but stealing our narratives as well? Let's just read the entire Instagram post. No more appropriation, Hollywood and streamers. Boycott. This fucked up. Plus, seriously difficult story to tell without aggrandizement, which would be wrong. I don't got a prob with Franco, but he ain't Latino. So if they cast a Latino to play Fidel Castro but still aggrandized him, would you be okay with that, or is that a no-no? This is so funny because, again, these are the same people who clap and applaud when a character gets race swapped, when they get gender swapped, when they get sexuality swapped. All of these things, these woke losers are they're clapping. That's so stunning and brave. You know damn well if a white person had been changed into a Latino person, he'd have no problem with it. And the funny thing is, James Franco has this Portuguese heritage. You can even see where they explain why they cast him. Regarding Franco, O'Fellan, who's part of this project, explained the actor was cast out of a desire for visual accuracy, as the production team found that he bore a striking resemblance to Castro. Finding and conceiving Franco to play Castro was a fun and challenging process, and has been the collaborative work of a universe, because our director's original order was to find an actor who has a close physical resemblance to the real Castro to build from. Of the casting process, he recalled, to get there on such a tough look to cast, we used Fidel Castro's ancient Galician heraldry as our focal compass, then combed through the entire rank of actors with Latin roots in Hollywood to find someone who had similar facial structure. In executing a close search in our hopefuls through the eye of Spanish and Portuguese genealogy, which the Galicians held, we found that James by far had the closest facial likeness of our industry's leading actors, meaning the focus would be to build out his character accent and a stunning on-screen match to intrigue audiences, bring story to life with true visual integrity. They found someone that looked like him to play him. Almost like that's how a lot of castings in Hollywood should go. But again, people furious about this. I love the 221B ads, just as an aside. I love the fact that the RK Outpost patch is popping up on 221B. If you want to get one of these awesome bags and the patch along with it, use code RK Outpost for a free patch. Go to 221B, go to the Geeks and Gamers collection. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment below and the description. The View co-host Ana Navarro said in response to Leguizamo's post, I'd like to think no Latino actor worth their salt would sign up to play and aggrandize a murderous dictator who terrorized the people of Cuba for 6 decades. For both reasons you articulated, I join you in the boycott. As Breitbart reported, the movie will be based on the book authored by Castro's Cuban descendant daughter and will be directed by Miguel Bardem, cousin of Javier Bardem. Leguizamo made no mention of the fact that Latinos are essentially steering this project and that Elena Fernandez, the daughter, supported Franco's casting. No mention of that. Just John Leguizamo showing this Hollywood hypocrisy. No problem that Franco has been accused of some pretty fucking heinous shit out there. That's not a problem in Hollywood. All that might be a problem is the optics involved. And when it comes to John Leguizamo, it's interesting that he would bring these things up. Because as Matthew Marsden, my friend Matthew Marsden, rightfully pointed out, hang on a minute, I thought all roles were up for grabs now. That's a bit, what do they call it? Yes, well, incredibly hypocritical. But then he brings up something else. John Leguizamo played Luigi in Super Mario Brothers. That's okay, though. An Italian plumber played by John Leguizamo, who I believe is Colombian. Now, his grandfather has Italian roots. Is that enough? That's less Italian than James Franco has Portuguese. Is that enough? Is that going to be enough for John Leguizamo to get away with playing an Italian plumber? Maybe not in his mind. I don't know. You'd have to ask this guy because clearly he's all over the place when it comes to his consistency. Let me know your thoughts about John Leguizamo freaking out about James Franco playing Fidel Castro. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. I'll talk to you guys later.